Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. And sorry, I'm up a little bit late tonight, but anytime between 9:30 and 10 o'clock. And if you're subscribed and have hit the notification bell, you won't have to look out for it. It'll just pop up supposedly on your screen. Ha ha ha. But anyway, I appreciate everyone who's coming in tonight and everyone who watches the broadcast later on. We got a lot to talk about tonight, and as we do every night. And the stories keep coming out. Now, the big news with Kamala is she's going to give $20,000 to over 1 million people to start a business. And that is amazing. There's only one hitch. You got to be a black male. Well, maybe not even male, but and also reparations need to be looked at, and we're all going to get smoked dope now. So she's working hard and trying to think of things that are going to improve the nation. And we have Mr. Trump, of course, going to form the economic forum in, I believe it's Chicago, talking to a nitwit from Bloomberg. And we all know where they're coming from. But what do I have on the screen there? Why do I have that on the screen? And see if anybody guesses what that means. What is that all about? And I hope my voice is coming in good and clear. And I'll play a couple of videos and see if they work good. How you doing, Dreamer? Nice to see you. Sherry, nice to see you. David. Gary, haha. Gary, I guess you got to see the Aurora Borealis. I forgot to mention that the other night. It was going on, and people in New York City was able to see it in different places. Here, let me play this. I can't stand this guy because of the name he chooses, Charlemagne. I'll just call him Charlemagne, and that's all. That's all. But anyway, here's Kamala, a quick clip. I got a longer extended clip, I think.
Well, first of all, on the point of reparations, it has to be studied. There's no question about that. And I've been very clear about that position.
Can you say pander? She's pandering. And while people are coming in, Trump brought up Gavin Newsom. And of course, the moderator during this interview with Trump on Bloomberg was trying to correct him. And this is a store a mall in California, broad daylight. Everybody walking around the mall. What are these people shopping in K Jewelers?
Get away from the store, baby. This is another one.
Damn.
Yeah, they're just busting out the glass and taking what they want. Let's see, what happened to Sheila Jackson? Reparations study. I got no idea. A lot of them are studying. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Island Girl. Melinda. Nice to see you. David. A lot going on. That's right. A lot going on. So we're getting some more people in, and I'll ask again if anybody knows what this, what that creature on the screen represents. And while you're doing that, I'm going to play. Here's something funny. These are people actually at a Harris rally. They're at a Harris rally. And I don't know if I'll get a copyright on this or not. I got a strike on one thing I put up, but it didn't hurt my channel. But anyway, Listen to this, what these people are saying. These are the people that get bussed in, and then they put a bunch of signs in the back to block off the empty chairs to make the place look packed. But here's everybody waiting for the big star to show up. Listen to what they say.
Why are they playing Baby Shark at the Kamala rally? What? I'm confused.
I'm voting for Trump. Not really.
I'm voting for Trump now. Yep.
They're playing Baby Shark. The girl said, "Why are they playing Baby Shark?" And the kid said, "I'm voting for Trump." And the other kid said, "Yeah, I'm voting for Trump too." So, so much for how many hundreds of thousands they spent on that rally. Hi, Yvonne. Nice to see you. So, let's see. If anybody guess what's on the screen, we keep getting more people in. No, it's not the Aurora. Nice try, David. David said, "I got a 5x5. That's good." All right. So I don't know. It's something, and I want to see if you all catch it. But my thumbnail is expect the unexpected. North Korea has bombed connecting roads and railroad into South Korea, the demilitarized zone, and also sent troops to the Kursk area during the Ukraine-Russian Federation conflict. I think about 3,000. We got a lot going on, and you never know what's going to happen. Expect the unexpected. But here, I got a couple of clips. I'm not sure what they are because the screens are just black. I did a special interview, and I'm going to put a link to it. If I can't put it in the chats, I will put it in the description after the end of the broadcast. But Arthur Weintraub, him and his brother were with the Bolsonaro presidency in Brazil. Okay, guys? Arthur Weintraub was interviewed by Tucker Carlson. All right. And I had an opportunity to speak with him and talk to him for about a half an hour. So, hey, I'm right up there with Tucker Carlson. Ha, ha, ha. I don't think so. But anyway, I'll put a link to that so you all can watch it if you care to watch it as we wrap up the broadcast. As you know, Brazil is in a lot of trouble, and they're arresting their political opponents. And anyway, you'll be able to hear a lot of it. When you see the first hour of the interview is my friend from Brazil, Oakman, interviewing Arthur Weintraub. And then I am invited on to speak with him. And I think you'll find it interesting. But anyway, here's the way Trump handled this character from Bloomberg.
I just haven't gotten over something the Justice Department did yesterday, where Virginia cleaned up its voter rolls and got rid of thousands and thousands of bad votes, and the Justice Department sued them that they should be allowed to put those bad votes and illegal votes back in and let the people vote. So I haven't gotten over that. A lot of people have seen that. They can't even believe it.
Yeah, put it out there. Our Justice Department is suing to make sure that thousands and thousands of illegal votes get put back on the rolls after the governor of Virginia ordered them taken off the rolls. They are suing. We'll see how effective they are. But here is this creepo You all know him. What's his name? Ratskin, talking about what they're going to do about this election if it doesn't go their way.
What can be put into the Constitution can slip away from you very quickly. And the greatest example going on right now before our very eyes is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which they're just disappearing with a magic wand, as if it doesn't exist, even though it could not be clearer what it's stating. And so, they want to kick it to Congress. So it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025, to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified. And then we need bodyguards for everybody in Civil War conditions, all because the 9 justices, not all of them, but these justices who have not many cases to look at every year, not that much work to do, a huge staff, great protection, simply do not want to do their job and interpret what the great 14th Amendment means. And I'm glad that Sherilyn's creating her new center so we can bring that.
So he's saying plump and plain that they're going to try to keep Trump out regardless of the election, regardless of what the Supreme Court says, claiming that the Supreme Court is corrupt. And he also alludes to the 14th Amendment as if somebody can be found guilty of something just because a Marxist finger pointer says they are guilty. That's not the way we work. But many of you have probably already heard about what they're doing in Georgia. In Georgia, a judge ordered that the Secretary of State shall certify the local superintendents of elections shall certify. They can't, even if they see something wrong, under no circumstances can they not certify according to this judge. So we have an infection in our judicial system. Okay? I'll have to draw you out, Saruman, like poison from a wound. They're in there deep and basically saying that someone who is in a supervisory role with an obligation to certify an election, namely represent that the results are true and accurate in accordance to the law, they have no discretion. How can you certify if somebody forces you? How is that an independent decision made by somebody who's taken an oath and has assumed the duty to make sure these are lawful votes, ballots and votes? They have no ability to correct anything. What can they do? Certify it, but then take their concerns to the Attorney General. Who is that? Fani Willis. Fani Willis. So in other words, they have to sign the thing that I certify that this is proper. But if you think something's improper, you got to take it to Fani, and she'll handle it. So Fani, her left-hand man, Nathan Wade, is in Congress. And this article here, Jim Jordan promises to reveal Nathan Wade testimony details. And he's been pretty straightforward with us, so we'll see how that turns out. But if you want to read this whole letter, it's on Professor Nez. Fani Willis sent a letter, and I believe also to Nathan Wade, telling him to keep his yap shut, okay, that he can't answer questions that she deems important to her, investigations and prosecutions. Fani Willis demands, this is Professor Nez, here he is, there he is, Nathan Wade, not to answer questions as deposition before the Judiciary Committee. Okay, he's already done that, but He's already done his deposition in private, but it's on the record that Fani Willis is trying to steer the direction of this investigation, trying to, in my mind, coerce a witness. And even though it's behind closed doors with the Judiciary Committee, and she sent another letter to, she sent this one to Jordan and another to Nathan Wade telling him to keep his yap shut. So we'll see how that all turns out. Just like we're seeing the emails back and forth between what's her name, Liz Cheney, and the what do they call her, clavicle girl. She accused Trump of trying to grab a Secret Service agent, throwing spaghetti on the wall. Hi, Ronald, how are you? Joker, how you doing? Nice to see you all. So anyway, he's corrupt also. I don't know who you're talking about. It might be, I'm not sure who you're talking about. There's a lot of corrupt ones here. This was spotted in somebody's yard. It'd be a good sign to put up. It's on their fence. Support your local fentanyl dealer. Vote Harris Walz. MS Motorsports, how you doing? Debbie, nice to see you. Did anybody figure out about what that tiger is? William. William got it. Nice to see you, William. William got it. That's the drones that I was talking about in China. That is a spectacle they put in the sky. Could be seen for miles. Hi, Chris. 7,300 or 800 drones that were all had different colors and sent up. And there they are, making a image in the sky. And think about it, what we're looking at. As far as what we talked about last night, our military bases were being pretty much harassed and security breached with these drones flying around. And I had postulated that they could have been dumped off when that balloon came across the country. Those things could land in predetermined places in the woods and sit there and charge up with a solar charging ability and sit there for weeks, months. And then with Wi-Fi, they could take off. Hey, you can be in New York City and watching what's happening on the Golden Gate Bridge all the way across the other side of the country. You can do the same thing from CHYNA to wherever these drones are. Instantaneous. Hi, Ronald. How are you doing? Instantaneous information. So here is the story as I saw it. China sets a world record. My screen is lagging, so please be patient with me. China sets a world record for simultaneous drone launches. In the city of Xi'an, 7,598 drones were launched into the sky at once. The drones put on a show in the air, depicting a giant tiger that hung in the air for almost a minute. Hi, Marie. Nice to see you. And here they are on the ground. Thousands of them. They're not very big. It's amazing, what they're able to transport, carry, how small cameras are now with Wi-Fi capability, where they can go, what they can see and do. And here they are going up in the air to create what you see on the screen. So they're doing that supposedly as a show for people, but I think it's also a message. A message to anybody in national security got a brain in their head to realize that these things could, if they get in our country, and I believe they are by the thousands, they can do a lot of surveillance and gather a lot of information. Not only that, but they are great for offensive things. I don't know if this music is going to get me a copyright, but this is a drone over in Ukrizzle. And you have a bird's eye view. You are inside the drone, and it goes through and weaves through the trees and reaches its target. You will see the tracks in the ground of a tank, and the drone operator is flying this drone, weaving through the trees, and just follows the tracks, and boom, there goes the tank. So it's music there, but I don't think it's going to get me in trouble. We'll see. It's two different targets.
The legacy, baby, is going down. You know the business. Got my new artist off the drop. We'll put him in Dynamite. 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 Thinking niggas every day. When I treat that bossy, yeah, fucking bosses out. I was smoking, hey, got a bag in my nigga. Now I'm in a pull the trick. I'm on this Boston trick. Cross out that this bitch, my nigga. They are doing it, bitch, stop. We'll put him in Dynamite. And I cheat.
Oh, okay. It doesn't look real. Oh, I can tell you one thing. I was out on a 35-foot boat, and a guy on the docks about 4 miles away, I could see him standing there on dock. He was operating a drone and called me on my phone, and I was talking to him, and he said, turn around. And I turned around, and I had a drone at eye level right behind my head. I didn't even hear it, and it was hovering right behind me. If it had a piece of ordnance on it, I'd have been done. And that wasn't a game. That was reality. Here's where they're using them to clear mines. Instead of sending sappers out, they're sending drones out to clear mines. But if you've seen anybody operate these things, you know that it's not overly complicated. So, they can do it the way the ones going in the woods were, where they sacrifice themselves, they blow themselves up. The drone itself is the ordnance, or they can have the type that will release a canister. And I'm just saying, with the reports of what was happening at military bases, they call them mystery drones, unknown drones. Got a lot of people concerned, and the drone that struck the canteen at the military base in Israel took out 4 young men, lost their lives, and a lot of people got wounded. I'm just saying, they're cheap and they can put them around everywhere. Now, we're getting a little feedback about this situation with Tim Walz that we've been talking about. Hi, Ronald, how you doing? Jet lag, how you doing? Hebrew Hammer, how you doing? Gloria, nice to see you. Miss Mendersu. All right. Getting everybody in. This situation on Tim Walz, I've seen the Officer Tatum put out something on it earlier today, and Viva Frey put one out. Kind of aggravated me, but I like Viva Frey. But he's being careful like a lawyer should. If you want to, this is a video you might want to watch, but he is being very cautious and he's warning against getting in trouble for slander or something like that against Tim Walz. And he doesn't take the allegations seriously, very seriously. He's saying it's potential, but it doesn't look strong. So I'm just letting you know what was running through my head watching this with Viva was basically, are you kidding me? Look what garbage they came after Mr. Trump with E. Jean Carroll. Look how they abused Brett Kavanaugh with that dizzy woman making those accusations and holding up a Supreme Court nominee. And this person who is communicating the events, he's describing Tim Walz's tattoos and scars and this and that, concerts, times. His parents even made a complaint. They've got school board records showing him and his wife were relieved of their position. Way more stuff to hang their hat on. So I've already done a video on it, and I'm using what I saw during the Kavanaugh hearings and the E. Jean Carroll case as a gauge. If they could find probable cause in those two situations, I can damn well find probable cause in my mind for Tim Walz in this situation. There's too much going on there that is a match. Even though this person has not made any more posts, he's been silent for a full day since he put up the post saying the guy was going to try, if possible, to have criminal charges filed against him. And I put in the comments with Viva Frey. I said, remember, I don't say remember, but I brought up Michael Jackson. They forced him to disrobe. I use the term drop trowel. Hi, Frank. Richard, how you doing? And actually photograph, his intimates, all right? And so this is scratching the surface. The parents can be interviewed as corroborating witnesses. The other students can be interviewed as corroborating witnesses. That's a hell of a lot more than E. Jean Carroll had or that other crackpot going after Kavanaugh. Hi, Wayne. How you doing? Yeah, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. If you give me a thumbs up, helps the video get around. Oh, a drone sprayed some guy with some slime? Well, I'm sure. Hi, Pappy Two Bears. I'm sure they're coming up. They're devious. They're devious. They're conniving. And that's what our taxpayers are paying for. People to be devious and conniving on how to undermine our system. I think this is another. Oh, The other thing I want you all to see, we talked about the 9 missiles that was reported to have gotten over the border to 3 assassination teams, right? From Iran. And I brought up during the Russian-Afghan war, they used Stingers, and people in chats help me remember the name of them, Stingers, to bring down helicopters and jets. Okay? That's technology from the 1980s. Now they call them man pads. And this is just showing you a test of one going off in Ukrizzle. But if you can imagine a jetliner in the trajectory of this thing, you know now why Trump is taking multiple planes, unmarked planes, and the request for pretty much the ultimate that the Secret Service can offer has been put into the White House. And Joe said, yeah, as long as it's not an F-15. And I said, well, good, give him a squadron F-16s then. But anyway, here's man pad's a little large, but and they need a setup area for it, not like a shoulder-fired Stinger missile. So I'm not sure what kind they have. I don't have any doubts about the accuracy. I know there's at least a threat going on that's serious enough to be able to take out a jetliner. Now, here is a video that came with, this is the demilitarized zone. And you see some soldiers there in the background. But this is what Kim Jong-un got up this morning and decided to do with the demilitarized zone. Yeah, he blew that up, and also a railway. So that's what Trump was referring to in his tweet, or truth, he put out. North Korea just blew up the railway going into South Korea. Here we go. This is bad news. Only Trump can solve it. So he put up a lot of stuff. Kamala's medical report is really bad. With all the problems she has, there is a real question as to whether she or not she should be running for president. My report is perfect. No problems. Oh, yeah, his town hall yesterday. I had an amazing town hall in Pennsylvania last night. It was amazing. The Q&A was almost finished when people began fainting from excitement and heat. We started playing music while we waited, and it just kept going. So different, but it ended up being a great evening. So he kind of details her medical report. Oh, that's I got to remember to put this up in a minute. But he details some of the stuff that came out with her medical report. She's got some kind of crud. I don't know. Let me see if I'll just go through some of his truths. Johnny Maga put this up. Trump's interview at the Economic Club of Chicago was something only he could have done. He walked into a completely hostile environment, which Kamala declined to attend. Destroyed the neoliberal. Yeah, he made him look like a clown. Corporatist interviewer, and even won over the crowd. Yeah, Trump's good at that. Let's see. Lion Kamala. after having turned down Fox News debate on September 4th, which I accepted, is now saying she wants to debate, despite the fact that the votes are already being cast. The reason she wants it now is simple. She is losing in the polls and is desperate. We'll do anything. The problem is that Kamala can't even do a simple interview and needs fake news broadcasters like CBS to completely withdraw her answer on 60 Minutes, which was incoherent and illegally. He's using a term illegally without a question mark. Insert a completely different one in order to make her look modestly, quote, intelligent. It didn't help. And 60 Minutes will be paying a heavy price for a long time to come. He had another post where he said 60 Minutes will be gone in the future. He said, you just watch. You just watch. They'll be gone. So I'm sure that's going to be probably going to be true. As to her completely desperate request for my medical records, she's dying to see my cholesterol, which is 180. I don't know if that's good or bad. I've already provided them many times, including quite recently, and they were flawless. However, I have just seen the Kamala's report, and it is not good. According to her doctor's report, she suffers from urticaria. I've never heard of urticaria, defined as a rash of round red whelps on the skin that itch intensely, sometimes with dangerous swelling. She also has allergic rhinitis and allergic conjunctivitis, a very messy and dangerous situation. I'm sure she's got more than that. But anyway, these are deeply serious conditions that clearly impact her functioning. Maybe that is why she can't answer even the simplest questions asked by 60 Minutes and others. What is this all about? I don't have these problems. And then he's got, I put out more medical exams than any other president in history, and ACE-2 cognitive exams. The doctor stated that my cognitive exams were exceptional. I am far healthier than Clinton, Bush, Obama, Biden, but especially Kamala. Also, I'm far too busy campaigning to take time for the 22 days left, as I am using every hour of every day campaigning because we have to take back our country from the radical left people that are destroying it. MAGA 2024. Here we go. Here's a meme you could put on, what is that, Meta? Tim and I have a plan. Yeah, where's those? Hi, Lone Wolf. How you doing? Oh, you have, Richard. You got my attention. I'm checking with my the person you all saw on X. Hi, Tracy. Yeah, I went over it, Richard, about 3 videos ago. 3 videos ago. Hi, Angela. Nice to see you. Colette, nice to see you. Okay, she's got hives. I think she's got more than that. Especially if she's going to Sean Combs's house. Well, we got some answers. Something we talked about briefly that some people thought might have been suspicious, but turns out these 2 Navy SEALs drowned during a nighttime boat ride off the coast of Somalia last January because their personal gear was too heavy, causing them to sink almost immediately upon hitting the water, according to the results of a military investigation. You were there when it happened in West Point, Nebraska? Well, I tell you what, you can go to Truth Social and message me on one of my posts, Richard. So anyway, let's see. I got this picture, a file picture. What they were doing was they were trying to board a vessel at night, practicing a raid, and one of them fell off the transom of the boat. Richard, I don't have any way to put links in. I got one. It's Truth Social. Is it Mountain Man Says or Mount? I just had it on the screen. Mountain Man Speaks or Mountain Man Says. Well, anyway, before I lose my train of thought, if you were there, I tell you what, are you on X, Richard? Because if you are, I will tell you who to message. All right, he's in direct contact with the victim. But anyway, training for Navy SEALs, you have to have with 72 pounds of gear on, which is a lot. You have to be able to tread water for 5 minutes without using your hands. Okay? And the skinny on this situation was there wasn't adequate training. The first person fell and hung on to a rail on the transom. Look at that water coming out of the back of that boat. The current, the force, he was able to hang on for 11 seconds. Another member of the team, I believe, was instructed to help the one who fell. He also was pulled in, and they both were gone in 47 seconds. 47 seconds. So the deal should have been that the one who fell should have been able to tread water on his own for 5 minutes. They have life jacket that they can deploy. CO2 fills it up. They call them water wings. And he could start shedding his gear to keep from drowning. That's the way I understand their protocol. But when you have two people that really don't know what they're panicked, they're trying to do something that in their mind they think will work, but that is not what you're trained to do. The other person should have never put themselves in harm's way. If this guy could have deployed his water wings, shed some gear, and then was recovered later. And what's one thing you have? At least from my experience, if you are on a boat and get boarded by the Coast Guard and you don't have it, you will be fined. And it's something I've talked about in the past, a piece of equipment. Hi, Sherry. Okay. All right, Gary. Nice to hear I'm true without saying the truth. Hi, television shows. What is a piece of gear? I have seen people get fined by the Coast Guard because they didn't have something as simple as a bailing instrument, a bucket, okay? Something to throw water manually overboard. People are in these $50,000 boats and they get a ticket because they don't have anything to bail water out. But It's no, well, they have water wings. That's the life jacket. Hi, Tennessee. And yeah, life jacket, but it's something people don't think of. And I have said in the past, it's a basic piece of equipment, a very basic piece of equipment, and often overlooked. And it's old as time as far as using it in emergency. Television shows his canteen. No, let's just say that this SEAL member fell off the boat, deployed his water wings, shed his gear, and was out there floating around waiting to be rescued. A compass is a good guess, but it wouldn't help him in this situation. Think about it. I've talked about it in the past. You know, some people are dropping off in the chats. You know, did you ever see Slumdog Millionaire? Slumdog Millionaire. He got to be, I won't spoil it for you, but just hearing something here and there, he remembered, and it caused him to do very well in life. I'll just say it that way. And as soon as you get into something a little bit cogitating, people go, oh, I'm going to watch another video. I don't know, a cat peeing on a wall or something. Let's see. A CO2 inflatable life vest. He has that. A flare. Well, it wouldn't do him any good. They don't have flares on. I guess he could have one in his kit, but he's in the water. It's nighttime. He's floating around. And I have said, why didn't, in a past emergency, think about it, in a past emergency, I said it should be standard equipment, because it's standard equipment when you're out on the high seas. And when you're in the situation this soldier would have been in, if he'd been trained, it would be the first thing he grabbed. When he was stabilized, had his water wings deployed, shed his heavy gear, and was in the water all alone. Yeah, they flashing light on your life vest. I don't believe they have this is gear they wear into combat. It's called rattle gear. But I'll give you all a couple of seconds on it, but there's a good breakdown of this on what's his name? Daggone it. I got another post from him. I have to a snap light stick? No, well, that's a good idea. I'll give you all another hint. I was chastising the police, and I was chastising the responders during the assassination attempt. There we go. Kim got it. And Simpson got it. A whistle. You're out there in the water. It's dark. All right. The other team members are fulfilling the mission and boarding the vessel. They'll come get you. Because if they don't come get you, that means they failed and you're gone anyway. But when they complete the mission, you blow the whistle. But without it being a SEAL mission, it might not be appropriate. If you were a recreational boater or, fell off overboard or something, and you had a whistle around your neck, it can help search and rescue. If I'm piloting a boat in the dark of night and I hear a whistle blowing, that's where the term whistleblower comes from. Alert, alert. Oh, you did, Richard. Good. Good. But I hope I didn't bore too many people with that little story. But anyway, it's a shame these two lost their lives. But it falls back to a noticeable degradation of training, okay? People being promoted to positions using DEI. I'm not saying that's the case here. This is the case if he was instructed to grab that person and they both perished. No, one guy goes over, there's protocols. You don't blow the whole mission for somebody who is going to be floating around out there waiting to be picked up. You don't end up having everybody go overboard over one person. The training wasn't there. It wasn't good. Now, as far as their physical abilities, I don't know. I don't know if they're DEI or not. But Jameson's Travels, that's it. I didn't think I had his name. Jameson's Travels, right there. He's did a good video on, he had a Navy SEAL go over everything and the report that came out from the SEALs. But he also put this out. The Defense Department, with the stroke of a pen, has quietly codified its right to deploy lethal force against its own citizens. What? What are you talking about, Jameson Travels? DOD Directive 524001. Defense Intelligent Component Assistance to Law Enforcement Agencies and Other Civil Authorities. September 27th, 2024. What is the highlighted point he's talking about? Right here. Assistance in responding with assets with potential for lethality or any situation in which it is reasonably foreseeable that providing the requested assistance may involve the use of force that is likely to result in lethal force, including death or serious bodily injury. It also includes all support to civilian law enforcement officials in situations where a confrontation between civilian and law enforcement and civilian individuals or groups is reasonably anticipated. Now, that is, I'm sure, to address concerns about the Posse Comitatus Act. And you can look at it both ways. I just played you a bunch of videos where all the creepy players are being talked about getting rounded up, okay? Rounded up. You just heard Jamie Raskin saying we would be in a Civil War type situation and we would have to barricade ourselves in. Isn't that what he said? I don't want to misquote him. Let me play him again. I don't know if this guy, Jameson's Travels, is worried about the authorization for the use of force by the military on civilians is a threat to us or a threat to them. I'll play it again because I think he said barricade himself in or themselves in after they ignored the Supreme Court.
What can be put into the Constitution can slip away from you very quickly. And the greatest example going on right now before our very eyes is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which they're just disappearing with a magic wand, as if it doesn't exist, even though it could not be clearer what it's stating. And so, they want to kick it to Congress. So it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025, to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified. And then we need bodyguards for everybody in Civil War conditions, all because the 9 justices, not all of them, but these justices who have not many cases to look at every year, not that much work to do, a huge staff, great protection, simply do not want to do their job and interpret what the great 14th Amendment means. And I'm glad that Sherilyn's creating her new center so we can bring that.
Well, I didn't catch him say that. Maybe it was somebody else on the other videos I said, but I don't know. I have to listen to it again. But anyway, it might be, like he said, he would have bodyguards. Okay. Here we go. Let me see. Here's something from Mr. T. Is this where he says we have... Is this where he says we have a machine we're up against?
I have a quote that I like a lot by John Wayne. It says, "Life is hard, but it's harder when you're stupid."
Yeah.
I think that perfectly explains Kamala Harris, right?
Ooh.
Right, sir? Now, our life has been hard because of her, but can you imagine what it's like to wake up as Kamala Harris? How hard life must be? My goodness.
Well, we have to beat her. Look, we
do.
have to beat her. She's not for this job. Everybody knows it. Look, we're running against not her. We're running against a very powerful and a very corrupt machine. That's what it is.
That's right.
She's just, and the same thing with Joe Biden. Joe doesn't know where the hell he is.
A very powerful and very corrupt machine. And what he referred to was, if need be, the National Guard, and if that ain't enough, the military. That's what's got them scared. And that might be what this adjustment to the DOD directives are all about. Okay, Richard, I see what you're saying there. So let me see if I've got that. I put up all the posts in my other broadcasts from that guy. Let me see. Here you go, Tim Walz. Put this on your Meta page. Terrified Tim Walz stands on a chair all day waiting for wife to get home in KILL spider. He's going to really be, if he's scared of a spider, he's really going to be worried about it. But Kamala, where did it go? She has a Russian. Well, let me put this one on here for. Let me put this one here for. Israel lacks intercepted missiles for air defense. Financial Times says, and it's being reported that they don't have enough for their Iron Dome. Okay, that's being reported. But from Mediterranean Man, he put out this. Dasha Navalanya, she, her, from Stanford University. Field organizer, Harris for president. Dasha Navalnaya, daughter of Alexei Navalny, whatever. Field organizer for Kamala Harris presidential campaign, started working since August. Apparently, Russians can partake in the elections of American elections as private citizens. Bah ha ha ha. A Russian, and you get a screenshot of it if you want. Voter mobilization, team management, and 3 other skills. Daughter of Alexei. She's a Ruski. What are they always talking about? Trump? Ruski. Russia. Here you go. Russia donated $0 to Trump. Russia donated $145 million to the Clinton Foundation. Russia paid Bill Clinton $500,000 to give a speech. Tell me again why Trump is the one being investigated. There we go. Kamala's got a Ruski working for her campaign. Not that there's anything wrong with Ruskis. I like Ruskis. Americanized ones. Whoa, I got a sneeze coming on. Hold on a second. That was 2 sneezes. Anyway, TDUSA put this out. No U.S. flag on Kamala side. Why? We know why, because they're communists. There's one side you got you got a Trump rally going on, but everybody's got American flags, and there's Kamala's bust-in crowd. But then they found out they had to listen to Baby Shark and decided to vote for Trump. I think that's funny as hell. Here you go. Just one more because it's Columbus Day. Oh, look, here comes the far right. Screwing everything up for us godless wretches. The Atlantic. I told you that's a commie rag. Oh, no, this isn't the Atlantic. This is about Kamala going to go on Joe Rogan. You think she's going to do it? Yes or no? I think she's going to back out. A gutless wonder. Here you go. Put this on. Kamala Harris announces all new original book, The Art of the Deal. They knew her as Cammy. Here's a couple. They said, Kamala says she's black, so we're black too. They're wearing shirts that say blacks for Trump. So, this came out. Biden tells Iran that attempts on Trump's life would be an act of war. There was diplomatic messages sent at the highest level to the Iranian government. Apparently, they're up in the ante. And look what's going on over in Italy. Italy dispatches first migrant ship to Albania amid warnings from rights groups, namely communists that want to undermine the Italian government by pumping in a bunch of cultural. Italy is transferring its first groups of migrants to Albania as part of a controversial plan to process thousands of asylum seekers outside its borders. Kind of like Trump was doing with the Remain in Mexico. According to the Interior Ministry, a naval ship departed from the island of Lampedusa, carrying 16 men, 10 from Bangladesh and 6 from Egypt, who had been rescued at sea after departing Libya. The ship is expected to arrive in Albania on Wednesday morning as the government seeks to manage the influx of migrants attempting to cross into Europe. Premier Giorgia Meloni's far-right government opened 2 processing centers in Albania on October 11th. They aim to handle thousands of male migrants intercepted in international waters. But these numbers are nothing. 400 migrants increased to 880 in coming weeks. We've got millions military-age men. But anyway, women, children, and the elderly, and those who are ill or victims of torture will remain in Italy. That's another thing Trump brought up. They're sending all the sick people our way. We got to pay the bills for all that. The 5-year deal endorsed last year by a European commissioner, whatever that name is. Example of innovative thinking. Well, Trump's been doing it for a long time, but it shows you that the Western countries are at least starting to feel the pinch. Here you go. Please don't feed the bears. It creates a dependent population unable to take care of themselves. You mean welfare programs? Ha ha ha. Jersey Joe, how you doing? Heart of the Neil. Yeah, Mr. G's going on Joe Rogan. Kamala Harris, but like 5'4", 5'3". She's not, here we go. What's this one? Newsmax. Supreme Court will hear closing arguments tomorrow in a case that would enable former President Donald Trump additional latitude to carry out his plan of mass deportations of illegal immigration should he win the presidency in November, it was reported. Okay, so we're going to keep an eye on that. They're going to hear the arguments tomorrow. It doesn't mean we're going to hear anything, but I'm sure like Viva Frey and people like that will be putting up live video probably of the arguments. Here you go, folks. Take heart right here. Take heart. It's a new high. Okay, presidential election winner in Poly Market. Trump's up there 57.7. And Kamala is getting ready to get down into the 30s. 41.9. And, you know, it's going to snowball. He's peaking at just the right time. Here, I want to play this. This is where a guy, I believe, is talking about how tariffs work. Okay? And they say he did a masterful job explaining. See what you think.
When you talk to the president, former president, about tariffs, do you see it as a bargaining chip, or do you think you're going to see tariffs across the board of 20%?
I think we should put tariffs on stuff we make and not put tariffs on stuff we don't make. It's pretty simple. And of course it's a bargaining chip. We can't sell a Ford or GM in Europe. You go to Europe, you can't sell a Ford or GM. Why? There's 100% tariffs. How about in Japan? 100% tariffs. So do you think if we said, we're going to tariff you the way you tariff us, do you think they're going to allow Mercedes and all these Japanese companies and Porsches and BMWs to all of a sudden have 100% tariffs in America? Of course not. They're going to come and negotiate, and their tariffs are going to come down. And finally, Ford and General Motors are going to be able to sell in these places.
How's that sound, Andrew? That sounds...
Of course they're going to come down. Of course. This is just negotiating.
It absolutely makes sense. If you do it strategically, if it's across the board, it creates a real problem. And the question is whether you believe the president is going to do it strategically or across the board. He keeps saying it across the board.
Well, when you're running for office, you make broad statements so people understand you. Right. Okay? Tariffs are an amazing tool by the president to use. They're an amazing tool, but he understands don't tariff stuff we don't make. Right? If we don't make it, and you want to buy it, I don't want to put the price up there. It's pointless. But use tariffs to build in America. If we want to make it in America, tariff it. Or if we're competing with it, tariff it. But you got to remember, we need to protect the American worker. Finally, someone's going to protect the American worker. And Donald Trump is here to protect the American worker.
Do you think we make a lot of money in tariffs? Or if they're used as negotiating tactics, look, tariffs will come down there. We're not going to have super high tariffs here either. There's not going to be a big pot of money at the end of the day.
I love that story. So which is it? Do we make a lot of money on tariffs, or we bring productivity here and we drive up our workers here? So it's a win-win scenario. I like both of them. I think what's going to happen is we'll make a bunch of money on the tariffs, but mostly everybody else is going to negotiate with us, and we will be more fair. In 1948, right, we came up with something called the Marshall Plan, right? The world, Germany and Japan were destroyed after World War II, and we wanted to export our economy to them. So we made a rule. They could tariff us, and we won't tariff them. So they can rebuild.
This is the best explanation I've heard of.
So they can rebuild their economy. We rebuilt their economy using something called the Marshall Plan. Our economy is so awesome that we'll use it to help you rebuild. When should that have ended? What do you think, 1980? Right? 1985? I mean, why 40 years are Japan and Germany and all of Europe still tariffing the heck out of our auto industry, tariffing the heck out of our furniture industry? Do you realize all your furniture you're buying that's made foreign? It seems crazy. Why? It's because they tariff us. and we don't tariff them. It's so obvious.
That is some big red pilling. That's why I played it. I know it was a long clip, but that's some big red pilling to be on CNBC, okay? That is laid out really plain for people that don't understand. And it's taken away their ammo of attacking Trump about tariffs. It's a win-win. And the reason we've been in so much economic trouble historically is because we're still trying to live up to the Marshall Plan, where we're exporting our economy to Germany, Japan, these other European nations, and we're the ones sucking wind. And more than 40 years. He said 40 years. And I agree with you, Miss Mendersu. Tariffs take care of us paying taxes. That's what Trump has alluded to. So that is a good clip for the average person to understand. I tell you, these, people talking about Trump going on Joe Rogan. I'll get to that in a minute. But here's where this liberal creep gets put in his place by Trump. Real nice, plump and plain.
What does the Wall Street Journal know? I'm meeting with them tomorrow. What does the Wall Street Journal know? They've been wrong about everything. So have you, by the way. You've been wrong about
You're trying to turn this. You're trying to turn this.
You've been wrong.
No, you're trying to turn this into debate. There are business people. There are business
you're wrong.
people.
You've been wrong. You've been wrong all your life on this.
You've been wrong all your life. You don't know what you're talking about. Let me see what I don't even know what this video is right here. Wait a minute. Well, I guess I'll play it and find out. I think it's another one from Trump at the Economic Forum. I will see. I can't remember. I didn't take a note.
My question to you is, what's your stance on reparations? We all know that America became great, free black labor.
Oh, God.
How progressive are you on making and righting America's wrongs? It's understood that you are running for president for all people of America. Asking for specific communities doesn't mean don't do for others, but black Americans are heavily asked to vote Democrat over half a century with very little. What are your plans to address these very important issues and change that?
Thank you, Zeke.
I appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you for your work. So to your point, yes, I am running to be a president. That being said, I do have clear eyes about the disparities that exist and the context in which they exist, meaning history, to your point. So my agenda, well, first of all, it has to be studied. There's no, and I've been very clear about that position. In terms of my immediate plan, I will tell you a few of the following. The economy, which is a lot of what you have addressed. Look, I grew up in the middle class, worked hard, raised me and my sister, and by the time I was in high school, she was able to afford our first.
Well, the bottom line is she's talking reparations. Joe Rogan, if he's got any guts, he'll have a field day. He'll have a field day with her. But I mean, people that rely on somebody like Joe Rogan, I got friends like this, okay? The football team loses, they go bananas. Government destroys your business, your family, and your health. They're like sheep. The men in this country got to man up. I had some friends that were just like what you see on the screen there, and I never got close with them. To me, they were lacking priorities in a big way. Here you go. Put this on Facebook and Meta. Since we're talking about these drones and stuff, they want to sell you EV cars while pagers and walkie-talkies are being remotely detonated by Mossad. Yeah, word salad. We got a word salad. I think she's going to back out myself. So, what is this? New York Times accused of lying about Kamala Harris's plagiarism allegations to minimize the scandal. Oh, they're going to start infighting. Okay, good, infight. Here you go. Who is this? Kamala Harris. Black men deserve a president who cares about making their lives better. Harris-Walz policy. Oh, boy. So they're putting something on their webpage. She will create an opportunity agenda for black men. Provide 1 million loans that are fully forgivable up to $20,000 for black entrepreneurs and others to start a business. Support education, training, and internship that lead to good paying jobs for black men, including pathways to become teachers. That is, depends on how you identify. Protect cryptocurrency investments so black men who make them know their money is safe. I think they want green. That's what I want. Green, okay? Keep the crypto. I want the green. Launch a national health initiative focused on the illnesses that disproportionately impact black men. Legalize recreational marijuana and create opportunities for black Americans to succeed in this new industry. Oh, we'll all start growing pot. I don't know how that's going to turn out for them. Nice try. Whoops. I put that one up by accident. Nice try. What's this one? Oh. I don't know if this is a fake out or what, but there's Netanyahu. Israel does not plan to attack Iran's nuclear or oil facilities in its retaliatory strike, the Washington Post reports, citing a conversation between Biden and Netanyahu. It was stated that Israel would target military targets, which was met with, quote, relief in Washington. Now, I remember Trump saying, take out the nuclear facilities and worry about the rest later. So I don't know, I don't know. Previously, the U.S. feared that an attack on Iranian oil facilities could cause a global rise in energy prices. You better believe it. Hi, Ronald. How are you doing? And in the case of nuclear facilities, it could provoke a major escalation with potential American participation. It was, well, we're over there already, okay? It was Netanyahu's more restrained position that the main reason why the U.S. accelerated the delivery of THAAD missile defense system to Tel Aviv. So I don't know if it's a fake out or what, but like I said, Trump said, take the nuclear out first. Now, this is interesting. China and Russia need to deepen cooperation between the armies of the two countries, said the deputy chairman of the Central Military Commission of People's Republic of Zhang Zhuya at a meeting with Russian Defense Minister Bill, whatever his name is. But here's a big story, folks, right under that. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro said that American entrepreneur Elon Musk spent at least $1 billion to finance an attempted coup in Venezuela. Elon Musk invested at least $1 billion in the coup d'etat, in the fascist rebellion, in the violence against the electoral process in Venezuela, Maduro said on the program With Maduro. Like I said, they're going to try to arrest him. If they could get away with it, they would do it. Now, whoa, where'd it go? This is the one about the North Koreans. Here they are blowing up stuff on the demilitarized zone. On top of that, on October 14th, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un convened a meeting on national defense and security. Attendees included top military defense officials, and I ain't reading all those names, included a report on recent provocation, military response plans, and efforts to modernize equipment. They provided evaluations that outlined critical tasks for national defense, emphasizing the importance of safeguarding nation's sovereignty. That's, where's the one about it, where they sent 3,000 combat troops. Maybe I don't have that one. But anyway, that was the build-up to them blowing up the railway leading into South Korea and several roads. I must not have got that one about where they sent about 3,000. This might be it right here. No, that's not the one. Well, I'll be darned. Well, believe me, that's what it said. I can remember that much. Okay. Well, it's true. I remember reading it. Let me see what's going on in the chats. So anyway, if I missed anybody in the chats, I apologize. Jersey Joe put a boom. So, all right, just seeing what's going on in the chats. Yeah, that's done by drones, Dixie. That's done by the Chinese Communist Party with drones. Here we go. 7,500 some drones. Top Oregon official put on leave for allegedly prioritizing qualified job candidates over gender identity. See? You don't put qualified people in there. It's how they identify. Now, this is no surprise right here. Voters question Vice President Kamala Harris's pitch as an agent of change. This was put up by ABC. Is that a crack in the armor? There's the two aircraft carriers that got built by China. Brand new, ready to go. What's this one? Did I put this one up yesterday? Let me see. Riley Gaines. University of Nevada became the fifth team to forfeit their upcoming match against SJSU. They are the first school to specifically cite fairness and safety concerns as a reason for forfeit. Incredibly proud of these girls. This is the way. That's what I've been saying. Whenever you have an opponent that is letting men play in women's sports, just walk away. It's not worth it. And that's what they're doing. Now, Israel is warning the UN to clear out of areas of Gaza, and they've even fired on UN positions. They're saying that the United Nations has had almost 20 years, over 18 years, to act as peacekeepers, and it's been a damn joke. Now they said they're coming through, and the UN needs to get the hell out of the way. So there's been shots fired and high tension. We'll see how that plays out. But a terror tunnel was found just yards away from a UN watchtower as Israel demands peacekeepers flee Lebanon. They haven't been doing a very good job of keeping the peace. And Israel has said they had enough. But Macron had a response discussing the actions of Netanyahu and Israel, lest he forget his country was created by a UN resolution. So that's a kind of a smarmy thing to say. But he said it. How about this? I told you this was a commie rag. The Atlantic. Listen to the song they're singing. Now, if a conservative publication were to put this out, they'd be raising hell. Kamala Harris might have to stop the steal. Constitutional scholars are already worrying about another January 6th crisis, and they warn the next election might be harder to save. What the hell are they talking about? We know what they're talking about. But anyway, I've got a young lady that I want to give the last word to. Did I load her video? Oh, let me see if I did. And I want to thank Gary for helping sponsor last night's program and everybody that's helped me out on Buy Me a Coffee. It's really appreciated very much. I'm trying to find this young lady's video. Oh, well, I'll put this up while you guys are waiting for me to find my video I'm going out on. A fact that a lot of people have forgotten. Mr. T never conceded. Oh, I might have to go out of the studio to get that. And I will do it because I've been wanting to play her video for a long time. A young lady speaking the truth, as far as I'm concerned anyway. Let me see. Where is she? Let's see if I can find her. There she is. Let me put her on the screen. Have you all had a chance to see this young lady yet? All right, folks. I appreciate you all spending your precious time with me. I hope you enjoy what this young lady has to say. And I'll be going live probably Wednesday. But if you are subscribed, hit the notification bell so you'll know when I go live, because I'm never certain. And I will, let me see if I can, let's do an experiment. Let me see if I can put a link in the chats to where I gave that interview. I had an interview with Arthur Weintraub. Oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. I have to put it in the description after I sign out. I will put in the pinned comment a link to where I have a talk with Arthur Weintraub, who was part of the Bolsonaro government and was interviewed by, oh my gosh, I'm having a brain freeze. Interviewed by Tucker Carlson, okay? So you all go watch that video. I'm in the last half an hour or so, and give that a thumbs up and subscribe, because that's our friend from Brazil, Ook. And then, man, don't let it get out, okay, folks? So I will put it in the comments. So anyway, I appreciate you all spending your precious time with me. Enjoy this video. I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
Explain to me how this is even up for debate. You have one candidate who gets stuck when her teleprompter breaks and repeats herself for like a full minute straight, saying absolutely nothing. Then you have her knucklehead communist VP that's proud to say he's friends with school shooters. Oh, and I am not done. This is the same cackling cunt that just sent $8 billion U.S. taxpayer dollars to Ukraine, while apparently the victims of Hurricane Helene will only get $750 per family if they apply online and are approved. Oh yeah, and even though the Harris administration denied an interview with Dave Ramsey, they did manage to find time to do a Call Her Daddy podcast where they only talk about women's right to abortion. Whilst all of that was going on, Donald Trump decided he was going to be returning to Butler, Pennsylvania today for another rally in the same spot that he was attempted to be assassinated, and even went as far as to leave a tribute for the man that did lose his life that day. I don't think anyone could paint it any clearer than this. You're either voting for Donald Trump or you hate America.